Okay, good morning everybody. Welcome to today's Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream. We are in the A320 doing a real world service from JFK to Nashville. The regular flight number for this, I believe, is 1073. So that is going to be our flight number for today. We're looking at about an hour, 2 hours roughly. So we will get in here, get started, and push back and take off. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. I will be back into the chat in just a moment while I get the plane started up. So welcome everybody. Happy Tuesday. We made it through Monday. It's Tuesday. So real quick while we're loading in, I want to give a quick shout out. Flopsy followed me early this morning apparently, so thank you Flopsy for the follow. Just wanted to acknowledge that. All right, let's get in here. And you know what, we'll let them talk to the tower. We can get everything started up in the interim. Oh, look at that. Nope. Immediately the screens went blank. That's not a good sign. Let's restart that. Oh, unbelievable. All right, let's try it again this time. Nope. They're not coming on. No, terrific. Okay. I don't know what the problem is. Some days it works, some days it doesn't. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Let's try rebuilding it again. I'm really perplexed as to why these sorts of things continue to happen. There just doesn't seem to be any sort of every time I think I found the workaround, it doesn't seem to work. All right. Good morning, Mick. How are you? Sorry, the plane's acting up. I start up the plane and then the screens go dark, so I don't know what's going on. The world update for today is pushed to Thursday. Sobo and Microsoft say it's out of respect for the air crash that happened in China. I don't know how what happened in China has an effect on the update in Iberia, but that's what they have said. So we will not be getting any update until Thursday. If this continues, we're just gonna cancel today because I'm not gonna have trying to deal with this because I'm going to get frustrated and then it's just going to pour over into everything else. I don't understand the reasonings behind all this. So everybody, I've heard in other discords that a lot of people have been experiencing the CTDs leading up to the release, the world update. This seems to be an issue for whatever reasons. We don't know why, or because nothing's been put out, so why would it affect? But it seems like in the week or so leading up, we have issues. So, hello, Mela. we're trying to get this flight done, but if we continue to have problems, I'm just going to end it. I'm not going to try to, we just won't fly for today. And I'll just delete this because it's not worth the headaches, to be honest. So yeah, I think a lot of people were looking forward to the world update, and now it's got pushed back Thursday, and now everybody's like, well, that means the marketplace won't update till Friday, most likely. Some people have suggested that the world update was not up to snuff, and so they used the tragedy in China to cover their butts and needed a few extra days instead of just saying, look, we were going to do it Tuesday, but we've ran into some issues we need to check over before we release it, so we're going to push it to Thursday. Hello, Joseph. So yeah, I don't know. I hope they're not just using the tragedy to cover their mess ups. I think that would be very unprofessional, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But again, what happened in China and the Iberian update, I don't see the why of it. So, but that's just my 2 cents on it. Anyway, so hopefully we'll get in here, get this whole thing started up. I apologize. It's just, as somebody was saying in a Discord the other night, you just never know when you're going to get any issues. So I'm going to go ahead and switch it to this because I'm wondering if that has something to do with it. So let's go ahead and try that. Oops, we are not anywhere near the United States. We are over Europe. Okay, depart. Going to K, B, and A. See if hopefully we will get this going. Hold on, let me just get this finished up and I'll look at the chat. I know somebody's saying something in there and I see it off my peripheral vision there. So I will be with you in just a moment. It's that one. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and give this a go again. See what happens. It's just the game. It's just doing its usual who knows why sort of stuff. So that's what's going on, Joseph. I don't know any other way to explain it. It's just one of those. It's a hit and miss. We never know when the things are just going to give up and not work. And so we're going to give this one more go. If it doesn't work, we're just going to end it for today, and I'm not going to keep trying again and again and again. So let's hope. Fingers crossed this works. Well, you're right, Joseph, but there's no explanation for it. That's the problem. That's the frustrating part. So I don't really know what to say. Now I gotta check the flight plan. Make sure we don't have any surprises once we get to our destination. doesn't look like it. Okay. Good deal. Let's get our lights on. The engine started up. All right. All right, looks like we are on our way to success. All right, let's go ahead and get towards our taxiway here. It could have pushed back a little bit further to give us a little bit more room, because luckily we got nothing in the way to impede our turn, but that would have been preferable that they gave us a little bit more room to work with. That's all right. We got this. Yeah, I'm just going to say now, if there's any more crashes, if anything happens during the flight, whatever, we're just going to end it. I'm not going to try to fight with the system. It's just a bit ridiculous. So, yeah. You just never know when the CTD is going to hit you. That's the unfortunate part. It's like playing roulette. Or anyway, so hopefully everybody's having a good day. Regardless, I apologize for the mix-ups, and we'll get going here and have a nice flight. So. Luckily, it's not too far to our runway, I don't believe. I don't think it should be, but since I really don't know JFK that well, it may be a little bit of a taxi. So that'll give people time to come in and relax and hang out. You're annoyed. Why, Mela? What's wrong? Oh, PC's playing it. Oh. Well, it just seemed, I don't know, maybe it's just, it's a carryover from yesterday. Technology's still on strike or something. Who knows? I mean, it's insane. Quite honestly. I don't get it. But You know, I had the hiccups. I had to reboot the Xbox because Twitch didn't want to start up on the Xbox the other day. Yeah. And it's just, for whatever reason, things are just not functioning as expected. So, oh, I gotta turn on the flight director. I forgot about that. There we go. All right, switch this back to the arc. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of people have been saying that, you know, for whatever reason, and of course I posted in the forums about it, and everybody's like, "Oh no, it's nothing's been released, so why would you think it has to do with the world update or the sim update?" Something's not working, you know. And it never fails that for some reason some people experience all these problems prior to the release of a world update or sim update. And because not a vast majority or of users are experiencing problems, then Microsoft's like, it's just an anomaly. We can't replicate it, so. So is it still under warranty, Amela, if you need to like get it repaired? I'm hoping it's still under warranty. Anyway, well, hopefully we have a smooth flight. We've gotten rid of the gremlins. Because if more creep in now, I'm going to lose it, unfortunately, and I'm just going to have to lose it off stream. Oh, well, at least it's under warranty, so that's the important part. So. Do have a special flight plan for tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK. 11:30 UK. So it's going to be a surprise. I don't want to. Yeah, exactly. Hello. All right, you don't have to spam. It's okay. I understand. Hello. I know you put the extra L in there. It's fine. Yeah, exactly, Mello. That is the problem. If they can't replicate it, then as far as they're concerned, then it's a non-issue. It's just an anomaly. So, with a lot of things, that's their go-to answer. We can't replicate it, so as far as we know, there's no problem. It must be on the user end. $3015. Ooh, 27 knot winds. Whew. All right, let's line up and get out of here. Yeah, it is a mellow, but that's the standard answer, unfortunately. If it can't be replicated, we don't know. We can't figure it out if we can't replicate it. So, yeah. Well, that's because you had all that dust in there, Joseph, and you played the heck out of it, and you just kept wearing it out. That's why it was playing up. You continue to push it even though you probably should have given it a break. All right, I think we are all set. Let's go ahead and get that on while we think about it. We are all set to go. All right, let's do this. I'll be back in the chat once we get airborne. I know people are posting stuff. I can see it in the corner of my eye, but I'll be back in there in just a moment once we get airborne. Okay. Oops. There you go, eat Oreos. You can take your comments elsewhere. Oh, the autopilot didn't engage. What the heck? I thought I engaged it. My bad. Oops, daisy. I just looked over. I'm like, the light's not on. Why didn't it go on? And I think I just forgot to engage it. That's all. All right. All right. Take care, Mela. We'll see you. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. Hopefully it improves. It's a little too early in the morning for the shenanigans there. Eat Oreos, honestly. All right, away we go finally. Yeah, exactly, Milla. That's what we had. All right. I thought I hit the Y button, but maybe I didn't. But either way, we're on our way, so it's all good. Oh, we could turn off some lights. I know that. What do you say, 2,200 or 22,000? I wasn't paying attention. I was, oops, that's not what I want. 220, okay, that's what I thought. Just want to make sure I mess it up. There we go. All right. Yeah, so special flight tomorrow. It's going to be a bit of a surprise. I think everybody will enjoy it, hopefully. Thursday we'll be in the Beechcraft D-17, the Stagger Wing. Why would we talk to Boston? We're heading away from Boston. Wow, okay. The Stagger Wing, the... the Cadillac of the sky. That's what it's considered to be. So we will do a flight from Raleigh, Durham to Wilmington. Should be about an hour or so, I believe. Looking forward to that. And then we are going from... Oh, on Friday we are in the 737 MAX. I'm going to have to make sure that all works off stream because, you know, reasons. So we're going from Salt Lake City to Seattle. Alright, we are above, so let's go ahead and just, oops, set that to standard. We are on our way. Yeah, so that's going to be the longest flight on Friday. So if you are interested in being a part of the first, let's see, that will be the 8th of April viewer flights. I'll be looking for 2 flights. I don't need them now on Friday. So you have between now and Friday to gather your information. I need at least, if you can, find the departure, the 4-letter code for the departure and the arrival airport, or if you have a city, and I can look to see what airports are there. Now, keep in mind, what may be there in real life may not be in the sim. Okay, so I'll try to find a suitable replacement. It may not be the airport near where you live, but I will try to find something close. So, and then it'll be up to you, but I have to look at it and say, yeah, I can do it, and I'll do it in this particular aircraft. So that's more for some of you new viewers. If you have an idea, more than happy to try to get that done. But what we try to do, I try to do at least 2 flights on some of the Fridays. So if you have one, we're going to try to keep it about an hour and a half, roughly. Nothing too crazy long. So that makes it a little bit easier for me to deal with. So yeah, if you could try to find something, and if not, then I'm sorry, but I can't do. That one we did last Friday was quite a lot because we had the problems with the crashes and just all kinds of issues. So anyhow, so that's what we got coming up. Saturday, Spitfire Saturday. We are Spitfire Saturday, we're going from Beale Air Force Base to Fallon Naval Air Station. Sunday, we'll be in Berlin, taking a flying tour of Berlin. Monday, we will be taking off from Berlin, heading to Vienna in the Junkers 52, the 29th of March. Jetliner Tuesday returns. Another JetBlue flight from Orlando, Florida to Cancun, Mexico. Thursday the 30th, we're doing an Embraer EMB 110P1 going from Douglas Bisbee to El Paso, Texas. And then Friday, we are in the Kodiak 100, Truth or Consequences Municipal Airport, going to Roswell, New Mexico. We're going to go UFO hunting, I guess. So that's what we got coming up. And then kind of going forward, we're going to keep Jetliner Tuesday. Thursdays is going to be, we're going to do like military Thursday. And so we will fly some military jet, a military jet, not some. We will fly a military jet on Thursday from point to point. It may be, we'll put together a flight plan. Some of it might be VFR, some of it might be IFR, depending on the what the aircraft has available. Some of them have autopilot, some of them don't. So, but we will do military aircraft on Thursdays coming up soon. We'll keep the viewer requests on Friday. Mondays and Wednesdays, I'm going to try to do... eventually, we're going to work on the flight going from Amsterdam all the way to the Dutch Indies. And that's going to take... There's 30 legs. So it's going to take some time. So that's why I'm trying to give you guys the Jetliner stuff and try to mix it up a little bit so that people get a little bit of everything. So, oh, got a bit of headwind there. So I just want people to know those Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be we're going to do some epic stuff and also hopefully see some really nice scenery and all that kind of stuff. So see some different parts of the world. We'll make our way down from Amsterdam through Europe, down into Greece, across into the Middle East. We'll go through Egypt, Iraq, Iran, India, and on so forth and so forth. So for some of you, that may cover some of the areas that you've been wanting to see, hopefully. Or at least your country. So yeah. We'll talk about the history of the route. What was, why was KLM flying that route. We'll cover all that as we go along. We will actually, one of the interesting areas we'll be landing, it wasn't on the original route. I've had to break up some of the legs in order to fit the stream schedule. But at one point, we're going to land at the airport near the Taj Mahal. So, and that wasn't planned. It just, I was looking for a kind of a midway point, and I was like, oh, this works out rather well. So, yeah. So we will be seeing a lot of different areas. We probably won't, I don't think we're going to fly over the Taj Mahal, but just, we will be landing at the airport that is not far from the Taj Mahal. So, yeah. So yeah, really looking forward to that. I think it's going to be really good. Fewer hiccups with the electronics because we won't, the radios that are in the KLM, the one like we flew yesterday, it's pretty solid stuff. We shouldn't have too many issues with that. Things kind of crapping out like we just had this morning with the screens going blank on us. So I think it was the weather preset is causing the issue. Wow, look at that. We have such a huge crosswind weir. That's crazy. All right, let's see where... Excuse me, let's have a look at where we're at in the flight right now. All right. Gander, Catby, Hutton. Let's see where. There we go. So we're looking for our arrival is. Oops, I'm looking at the wrong page here. SWFFT2. Oh, look, I got a... Robert, there's a marker for me. Hey, I like it. Okay, so G, that marker there, that waypoint there, I keep saying marker, that waypoint G, Golf, Zulu, Golf. At that point, we're going to start our reductions in altitude. Because we have to be at about... Yeah. Well, it's saying 20,000 feet by the time we get to our arrival portion, which is SWFFT. And then we will continue our reduction line up. Interesting. Let's see here. I just want to... Oops. Okay, that's our... Okay. Got it. Okay. So it looks like our flight plan is solid. No little hiccups or anything. Hello, Rian, I'm not sure, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Welcome, hello. Welcome to the channel, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good Tuesday, wherever you are in the world. So we departed JFK. We're on our way to Nashville. JetBlue service. This is a real world route that they do. That they fly. I don't know the exact times that they fly it, but it is. I looked it up, and it is a legit real service flight. So. Let's just have a look outside for a while. A little bit bumpy on the flight today. It's pretty heavy crosswinds, it looks like. 121 knots, so we appear to be, if we go out here and do this, we're flying the correct direction, but it just doesn't appear like we are. But we are going towards our next waypoint. So, but you know, looking at it from this angle, it doesn't appear like we are. So once we line up, I'm going to hit that ILS button, and we're going to do like we did the other day when we were able to land and there was no issues. So we'll go ILS, the bottom part will line up, and then we'll hit the, once the, there'll be some diamonds. This will change down here. There'll be some markers across the bottom, and then there'll be a diamond that will move. Once it hits the center mark, we hit the approach mode, or the ILS, but it should be almost right on by the time we hit the ILS button. Then over here there'll be a similar thing, and the diamond will probably be up here at the top, and will move down, and once that lines up, we'll hit the approach mode. The tractor beam should engage, as I like to call it, and we'll go right on into the runway and park it once we get to our gate assignment, wherever they want us to go. So that is the plan for today's flight. I kind of feel like there would be no way to get into some cleaner air on this route if this was real life. I think we'd just be, the folks in the cabin would just have to deal with the turbulence. So alright, just trying to clear out messages and such that are starting to annoy me a bit. Sorry. Alright. Okay. Well, thank you all for the 5 likes. I appreciate that. So it looks like we're moving along at a pretty good pace. I don't think there's any areas, not that I could remember, have like a huge, like 300 nautical mile distance from one point to another. So hopefully we'll just take those little chunks out of the flight and the distance, and we will be there before we know it. Yeah, the next one looks like a very quick run to there. Yeah. Let's zoom out just a bit here to see where we're at. So that's pretty much a lot of what we got coming up. Yeah, we still got, oh, that's not even all the way. Oops. So yeah, it looks like from that last marker there, which is Maple, then from there to the next marker is a huge distance, it looks like. That might be our longest part of the flight right there. Getting to either Tebok or Tarok. I'm not sure which. Once it passes a little bit, then we'll see what the marker is. Because we'll hit BLF and then the next marker. And that one looks like it's pretty close together, possibly. So yeah, we got a bit of ways to go, but we are just kind of making our way. So Mick, you're taking the night off, if I remember correctly. I think I heard you say that last night. I was a bit distracted. So, well, hopefully you have a nice evening off stream. And I'm sure you'll be there for Pulse, but nice to have a quiet off stream, I guess. I don't know why it does that. It's been slipping out of the mode where we need to be in. But that's all right. We're good. Wow. Okay. Well, oh, nice. Good deal, Mick. Looking forward to ATS on Wednesday. Always a good time. Have they released the DLC, the one that you've been waiting on? I can't remember what it's called. Is it Montana or something? Or I know it's to the east of where you guys already are. So, has that been released yet, or is that still in the works? Do you know? I'm going to go ahead and the flight attendants can start some in-air service there, get some snacks out. I don't know what you're talking about there. I don't read Cyrillic, I think it is. So I'm sorry, but welcome to the stream. I don't even know how to pronounce your name, but yeah. Welcome. Oh, okay, Texas and Montana. Okay. That's what it is, Texas and Montana. You are from the races. That's what it translates to. I don't think that's what you mean. So, but, okay. Welcome. All right, yeah, Texas and Montana. Yeah, oh, Texas, you guys are going to have a lot to do in Texas. That'll keep you guys busy for probably I would imagine maybe 6 months or more. Trying to get through all of Texas. Unlocking all the areas, and as long as you can stay clear of the AI and not get into trouble, you guys probably make a pretty good amount of money there in Texas. But, the AI have a different plan for you. It seems. I did let Doris know that you were playing FIFA last night. She wasn't able to watch. She was busy at work. She worked right through her meal time and then went home technically early, and so I was able to talk to her last night. So yeah, they were trying to get stuff done so they could go home a little bit early, apparently. She did say of the two types that you and Pulse play, she does prefer the career mode. you know, the pro club. She said you get too. Sounds like you get too frustrated. So, but she does like the football, but she prefers if she's going to watch you. It's the career mode seems to be a little bit more. What she likes to watch when she's watching your streams, even if she watches it afterwards. Yeah, I hope so too. But that AI just has its own, its own situation. Hello, totally unknown aviation guy. How are you? Nice to see you. It's just like FIFA. The refs have their own way of doing things, and it's not what would happen in the real world. But it's yeah. I think the career mode, because you guys are the building your team. You're looking for better players. You're transferring the ones that are not so good. So yeah, I do like that. That's really good, because there's a different side to the game than just pro clubs. Just seems too broken, to be honest. I mean, you guys have some really good matches, but then it's like you're on a good streak, and then all of a sudden, all heck breaks loose. So anyway. It was nice to finally talk to her. It'd been about a week or two since we had talking on the phone, and so, yeah. So hopefully we're going to be able to talk tonight. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you guys can't really have a legit convoy, can you? You gotta put some distance between you and everybody else, otherwise chaos ensues. And it seems to me, and I think I've seen this before. If Pulse or Chris has a crash in front of you, somehow you get collected up in it. So at least if you're farther back, if they something does happen to them, then you can try to either slow down in time or move around or whatever you got to do. But yeah, it's nuts. I think you got collected up in the shenanigans between Chris and Amela last time too, Mick. Even that guy came in the chat. What do you talk about, Joseph? I don't know what you mean. I'm confused. I was kind of looking to what Pulse was talking about with that, when that one guy came in about editing your channel. I see what he was trying to say, and I was like confused how that works. But yeah, apparently you would assign like that role to somebody, but you don't have to give them your password or your, other account. Yes, Karthik, I'm on the Xbox Series S. I'm just using a standard wireless controller. So yes, that's how I fly. Obviously, we're flying. The autopilot's engaged right now. I would not be able to fly this manually with the controller. I mean, I can land it if I have to manually, but flying it, no, I couldn't do that. It would just be too much for me. My left thumb would just go numb, I think. So yeah, I see what Pulse was trying to say, but that's very suspicious that somebody would come in and ask to be an editor on your channel and you don't know that person. That seems rather odd. I would not feel comfortable giving that sort of a responsibility to somebody I don't know. Even the other hey, my marker's coming up, yay. It's just a short run to my marker. Yeah, I don't, you said even that guy, even the other, you're not making sense, Addies. I'm sorry. You're not being very, you're being very vague. I'm sorry. Yeah, the only thing I could think, and I was going to ask him, but I think he left, was, are you trying to build a business? And Pulse did ask him, do you have a portfolio? Can you show me some work you've done that I can look to see what you've done for other people first? And so I don't know if he's trying to start off, but he's going about it a way that is probably not very practical. He's just going, instead of getting to know people and building a relationship that way, which would be the smart way to do it. Yeah, I just, it really perplexed me. I'm like, why would he just assume that? That's why I asked, how many people have just given you that? Oh, well, Joseph, it is what it is. He got dealt with, and I don't think he'll be back again. If he is, he'll be dealt with again accordingly. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But anyway, yeah, I that's why I was like, how many people have you gotten to give you that sort of responsibility on their channel, and they don't know you? That's yeah, very, very odd sort of situation. But I guess people, I can admire that they're trying to create a business of some kind, that they can show hey, I've worked with these folks, and this is what I've done for them, so that he has work to show. Yeah, good, Mick. So there you go, Joseph. I wouldn't worry about it. But my only thing about that guy was that that person that came in and said some really stupid stuff about you. Uh, the assumption was maybe it was somebody you had played in FIFA, like just before all that happened. I don't know. I kind of got the sense that that may have not been the case, but I'm not sure. Like it may have just been some random person who just decided to pick on you, you know. So, but it may have been somebody who you have faced, maybe not last night, but maybe in the recent past, you know, like within the last couple of days or so. But it's hard to tell. But yeah, that was very odd. But yeah. But I don't think either, you know, responding with to threats with other threats, you know, that's not always a good way to handle things, you know, because then they can use that to report you. Yeah, I know, Mick, exactly, you know, and but it's just I was really perplexed, like the, I mean, you really have to have some. I don't want to say guts, but you know, if that's what he's trying to do, I think he's going about it the wrong way. If that's, you know, if he is in fact trying to build an online business, you know, maybe he does have video editing experience or other kinds of editing experience, but without any proof of that, it's kind of like, well, it's like you buy a Ferrari and then somebody's like, "Can I drive your car?" They just walk up to you and go like, "Hey, can I drive your Ferrari?" Well, I don't know you. Well, but just let me drive the Ferrari. No. Hey, I don't know if you have a license, what kind of insurance you carry, because you could wreck my car, and then I'm screwed. So yeah, no, it's yeah, I think people are just trying to find ways to be creative and maybe make a living out of it. But there's a way to do it, and there's a way not to do it. And I think too that if he was a professional already, he would have told Pulse, "Yeah, go to my website. These are all my references, and this is all the work that I've done." Then that's a different story. Like they actually know what they're doing, and you know, that sort of thing. So, but if it just felt like they were trying to start out, and they're hoping that people will give them that opportunity. But yeah, it's just a very very odd way of doing things. But because I was like, wait a minute, what? Because normally, you know, I'm looking at the chat and it's like, can I join you guys? Can I join? You know, but I'm rated this and I'll help. You know, like they're like, they really want to play. They really want to be a part of the stream, but you know, they're just so anxious you know, they don't have other people to play with, or they do, but those other players are otherwise engaged. You know, maybe they're having dinner or doing homework or whatever. So they figure they'll come in and beg to be able to play. That's not good. Anyways, let's see what else. Oh, I totally forgot about this. Last week, I think, yeah, sometime last week, Vic Elford passed away. Quick Vic, as he was known. Porsche driver for most of his career. He did a lot of sports car racing. He drove for a lot of different teams, but he's most well known for his time with Porsche. And I got to see him at Laguna Seca back in 2005 when Chaparral was being honored. He drove the groundbreaking sucker car, the fan car, whatever you want to call it. It was this car that had these two big fans in the back, and when they hit the switch, the car would be, sucked to the track, and so that way they would go through the turns a lot quicker. There was no real aerodynamic stuff, but yeah, they raced for a bit, and then it was deemed an unfair advantage against the other cars, so it was banned. But it was very unique for its time, very fast. But yeah, unfortunately, I used to have a poster that he had autographed of him in the Porsche 917 Longtail on the Mulsanne Straight at Le Mans. Hello, Allison. How are you? Nice to see you here. And because I had purchased that through his website, his wife would send out every year. I would get a Christmas card from them. It'd be a virtual one, but they would always send something out. So yeah, really sad to hear that he passed last week. Not as well known maybe as Sterling Moss or some of the other drivers, but really great driver in his own right, I think. So it was sad to hear that. I forgot to talk about that last week. So, I'm okay sneaking in while at work. We'll have to shoot off in a bit, back meetings this afternoon. Oh, the back-to-back meetings, those are never fun. But, well, thank you for stopping by for a little while. Glad to see you here. Yeah, we're just on our way to Nashville, and that's about it. Nothing too spectacular. So, I see you're flying tonight. I think you're doing the stagger wing flight. So, I'll try to catch part of that stream. Ooh, a little bumpy here. Yeah, yeah. Oh, not the stagger wind, the steerman. That's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I saw the posting on the Discord there. So, yeah, I'll try to keep an eye on that tonight. See how that gets along. I've flown that one before. It's yeah. Flight Murphy spot on. Oh, okay, nice. Looks like yeah, you'll be pretty busy. I know Captain Arsh will be back at it tomorrow, I believe. So looking forward to the next leg of our flight in Australia. So, hello, WMKI Ground. Interesting name. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, looking forward to getting back over there in Australia, and Oz Nomad's done a phenomenal job coming up with some really neat places to see from the air. So yeah, looking forward to and yeah, you guys are continuing on the flight Saturday, continuing the Amelia Earhart flight. Now that you made it to Dakar, I think it is. So yeah, looking forward to that as well. I might try to jump in for a little while on Saturday if I can. So yeah, good stuff. Good stuff coming up. Ooh, there's a little bit of a stutter there. That's been happening a lot more lately, it seems. I don't know why. See? It just did it again. I don't know what it is, but we've been getting more stutters lately. Yeah. Okay, St. Louis to Dakar plus another leg. Ooh. Okay. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys get into Saturday. I might try to spawn in for a little while and fly for a bit. I'll probably take the King Air 350i because it's like you said, that's the closest that we might have to Because of the Electra. Yeah, that's what I think too, Allison, unfortunately. But as long as we've had some issues this morning, like I tried to start up and all the screens went dark as I was starting up the plane, and so yeah, I'm going to try to pop in for a little while, maybe cover part of the leg, or at least one part of the leg. So yeah, I'm really enjoying flying with you guys because I'm learning a lot more, and it's a really great experience, I think. So, and I did enjoy the oh wow. Yeah, that flight down there in Bolivia to Peru was really cool. But I was having a tough time with just the controller trying to make all those turns. So, yeah, my left thumb was on fire after a while. But, yeah, it was really nice to be able to fly with you guys for a bit last week. So, really enjoyed that. Yeah, that was some really neat scenery. I think if I had really interesting, or if I had a different choice, I would have gone with the Spitfire because it would have been a little bit easier to zigzag through the canyons and all that. But yeah, that was a really awesome flight. And I mean, you guys went, what, 6 hours by the time you landed. So yeah, that was a lot. But yeah, really enjoying getting to know other people in the community and all that. I'm really that's the best part about it, I think. So good stuff. But yeah, I'm glad to see you here. So for those of you on YouTube who don't know who I'm talking about, Allison Johnson is she's replicating Amelia Earhart's flight around the world. Captain Arish is her navigator, so he does a lot of celestial navigation and stuff, and he keeps her on track and all that. So yeah, really awesome. She's been featured on the Microsoft Flight Simulator, their website, talking about what she's doing here in Microsoft Flight Simulator, trying to get more women involved with the sim. Really good stuff. So yeah, happy to have found her through Captain Arish. So good stuff. So I think, yeah, this is probably our longest bit of distance here between markers or waypoints. Yeah, still got 130 nautical miles to BLF. So once we get there, we will be certainly in the latter part of the flight, and we will look at making our descents eventually and slow down and do all the things we got to do to bring the plane to a safe landing. Yeah, it's nice to find people in the community who are willing to help new flyers and do things, do some really awesome work, and talk about some history that I think a lot of times gets forgotten, unfortunately. Or it's just mentioned in passing and nobody really delves into Amelia Earhart, what she was trying to do, and all the other women in aviation whose names were not as popular or well known as Amelia Earhart's. Yeah, there's a lot of history out there that people tend to forget about. So, well, yeah, it's good to bring those things up and talk about it and talk about who those pilots were. You know, give people a bit of context about what they were doing. Who remembers Pancho Barnes? I don't think I've ever heard that name, but one of the things about aviation, I think it correlates a lot to motorsports. There's once you get bitten by the bug, there's all these things that you can explore, all these pilots and different planes and all these things, and it's like, wow, you just barely scratched the surface, and you can get lost in it, and it's wonderful to get lost in it, because you're just like, wow, I didn't know about this, and check this, like I would not have known unless I'd sat down, and I did, about the KLM route from Amsterdam to the Dutch Indies. I'm like, wow, that's pretty amazing. So I want to fly that. It's going to be a bit broken up. It's not going to be exact, but I want to replicate it as much as possible in the modern day. But it's, there's all these things, history that most people just, it's kind of lost, or taken for granted. Have many folks heard of Powder Puff Derby? Oh, she was one of the original 99s. Oh, was a pioneer aviator and founder of the first movie stunt pilots union. In 1930, she broke Amelia Earhart's airspeed record. Barnes raced in the... Oh, okay. I would have not known that. Thank you. So yeah, Florence Lowe Pancho Barnes was a pioneer aviator and a founder of the first movie stunt pilots union. In 1930, she broke Amelia Earhart's airspeed record. She raced in the Women's Air Derby and was a member of the 99. So that's where the 99 things come from, because I think you're trying to do a similar sort of virtual 99s, I guess, to honor what she did. So awesome. Okay. She lived until 1975. Wow. Pretty full life then. Amazing. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it just reminds me when the first time I went to historic race and you see all these old cars, you're like, I didn't know this existed. I didn't know about this. And all of a sudden you're just like soaking up all this knowledge. Yeah, okay, got it. All right, I wasn't sure why, but now I know. Well, thank you for explaining that. Awesome. So yeah, that's the cool part. You can really get lost in a lot of this stuff, and it's a healthy thing, I think, to get lost into. So yeah, it's you can discover, and a lot of times I think it inspires people. Like, wow, I didn't know this, and maybe I can do that. That's the important thing, I think, is the inspiration behind it all. So. Yeah, good stuff. Well, I'm glad you stopped by to tell us a little bit about this, Allison. I appreciate that. Good knowledge. I always like to learn something new every day. And you never know what it is going to be that you're going to learn. So, thank you. All right, we are 97 nautical miles from our BLF waypoint. So I believe we were pretty much just about halfway into the flight, and so we'll be arriving into Nashville before we know it. Been through Nashville, not ever stopped off to actually check it out, but I hear it's really nice. I'd like to go through there again one day and actually take the time to explore. It has a very vibrant downtown area. It's kind of got the old brick buildings and the old storefronts that have been modernized and stuff. So yeah, definitely would like to go check that out sometime and just spend about a week or so just taking pictures and enjoying the history and the food and the atmosphere. I think I'm itching to get on do a trip at some point again, but I don't know where or when. But I'd like to get out of town and go take pictures somewhere again. I just might have to put the money aside for it. I'd like to go down to Scranton because they have that railroad museum down there, which Steamtown, which is pretty cool. But just the Scranton area, there's a lot of interesting places around there. I like some of the buildings are abandoned, like the old factories and warehouses and stuff. I like to get pictures of all that. I've been looking at the pictures I took when I found a friend of mine and I found that abandoned roundhouse here in town, and just walked around there. And when I look at the pictures, I'm like, man, this I'd like to get back up there again. I might have to contact my friend and say, hey, can we go back up there? You know, because at least it's not something that costs any money, like an entrance fee or whatever. Just as long as we don't get caught, because we're technically trespassing. But yeah, he knows of another place that's even better than that one. So I might just have to talk to him and say, hey, let's do that other roundhouse and find all that, because I'm itching to take some more pictures. Yeah, now especially, hopefully winter's behind us, and now that the weather's improving and all that, it'd be good to get out there and take some more photos. I don't know that I have on my Twitch. I'm gonna have to look at this after I'm done. I have a Flickr page for the Twitch followers. If you want to see my photography, you can. I'll eventually update the Twitch to have the link to that. I'll give a link to my Flickr, Redbubble. I have some stuff for sale on there if you want to buy something. What else? My SoundCloud. If you want to listen to me a couple years ago when I took a radio production class, I put some of the episodes on there that I recorded, music and everything. So if you want to listen to just we had some 80s music, we had some disco music, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, if you want to check that out. I'm trying to think what other links I have. SoundCloud, Redbubble, Flickr. I can't remember what else. I think that's it. Yeah, I'll have to update so people can take a look at that whenever they want to. All kinds of stuff, photography-wise. Cars, planes, some planes, yeah. Went to some aviation museums. Trolleys from the historic F line in San Francisco. Scenery stuff, just all kinds of stuff. So, yeah. Lots to enjoy. I know Mick's been plugging through my Flickr every so often. Checking out my photos. Sometimes I see a huge spike in the viewer count. Or views, not viewer, but views, you know. One day it'll be like 35 and the next day it'll be like 450. So I'm like, either Mick's been busy or somebody else has been visiting. All right, let's see how much farther we got to go. 63 nautical miles. So we're almost there. Good to have a look here. Let's go to the next page or so. Yep, so we're looking for SWFFT. I just saw it. So yeah, we don't have much more to go to get there. So we will be making our way. We'll start descending pretty soon. Slow the plane down. And do our arrival portion, and then we'll turn in towards the runway and we'll be on the ground. Fingers crossed. Knock on fake wood. That the CTD goblins don't get us before we land. Or, God forbid, right when we're over the threshold of the runway, it just crashes. Hopefully everybody's enjoyed today's flight. Appreciate everybody coming in and hanging out. Some new faces, some returning faces. Nice to see everybody. Here on a Tuesday morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for stopping by. If you're a new subscriber, I appreciate it. I haven't got any notifications, but sometimes I do get a notification, sometimes I don't. So if you subscribe today, I do appreciate the new subscriptions. We are at 249 as of this morning. So, yeah, do appreciate the new subscribers and all that. So we try to fly 7 days a week whenever possible. The first and the second, I won't be flying. I have a procedure on the first. I have to go to the hospital and get that done, and I just want to have the second to kind of recover. I'm not sure how the anesthesia is going to, how I react to it. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the next day off just to make sure that I don't. So I'd hate to start streaming and then I just pass out or something. Not that I would expect me, if I was going to have that problem, it would have happened before I left the hospital. But just want to be able to just kind of sit back and relax and all that. So no flights on the 1st and the 2nd of April. We weren't going to fly tomorrow, but it turns out my appointment got moved to the afternoon, so we will fly tomorrow. It's going to be a surprise. So I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. So tune in tomorrow, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK time for a Wednesday surprise. Matter of fact, that's what we'll call it, the Wednesday surprise flight. There we go. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. Should probably get up and stretch here in a moment. I probably will refresh my water. What's funny there, Joseph? You're putting in LOL. Would you care to elaborate? I'm not sure if you're laughing at something I said or something that you see where you live. I'm not sure. So I'll let you ponder your response while I take a moment, step away for a bit. I'll be right back, folks. I'm guessing you mean about the surprise flight, Joseph? Calling it the surprise flight Wednesday? I'm not sure. But anyway, it's all good. I was just giving you a bit of a hard time. All right, let's see. We are 14 nautical miles from BLF. We'll pass that, and then we will be looking for our arrival portion. Actually, we're looking for the marker GZG, Golf Zulu Golf. That's our kind of our point where we're going to start to do our initial descent to prepare for our arrival to Nashville. Do you think the 737 MAX 8 is safe? I don't know, Haynes. It appears that it was, but maybe it's not. Or maybe it could just be that particular plane had... maybe that... I don't know if... they're going to have to look into the maintenance history of that particular aircraft and figure out what may have caused the crash. But, air travel is inherently dangerous, although it's much safer than it used to be. But, there are things that happen that either it's a maintenance was not done properly or sometimes pilot error. There's all kinds of things that could have gone wrong. But, the investigation hopefully will uncover what exactly happens. If it is an aircraft issue, then Boeing can look into that. But if it was just a something else, if it was a maintenance thing, that maintenance wasn't done properly, then that's a different story. Then it's not the aircraft that caused the issue, it's somebody cut some corners on maintenance. And that would lead to something like that happening. But only time will tell. But I think it's easy because that plane does have a rather ominous history, ominous history. That it's easy to say that it's the aircraft that's at fault, but it could just be down, like I said, it could be the maintenance, it could have been pilot error, could have been any number of things, or it could have been a combination of things, we don't know. Tellock is our next marker, 15 nautical, 15 or 16, 14 nautical miles now. All right, so we should start, okay, GZG is our next one after Tellock. Okay. So we got one more waypoint to go. Fly in 2 weeks to Greece with I mean, I guess you could try to ask for the airline to I don't know that if they, well, it may be that some airlines are going to pull those planes out of service as a precaution, possibly, and sometimes that's what happens. But do they have a replacement, something that they could still fly you to Greece in? That's the big question. If they do, then I'd say, okay, well then you don't have to worry about the 737. But if I would contact them and ask them, are they considering pulling the 737s out of service? And if so, is there going to be an alternative for me to get to my destination? I would check with them on that. Because at least that may calm your fears. But if they're not going to pull them from service, then then maybe I need to cancel my flight because I don't feel safe in the 737 while these things are happening. But that's your right as a consumer. You should be able to question them and say, because I think eventually that's what a lot of other people are going to ask. Are you going to pull these aircraft? What's, So yeah, I hope you get to Greece when you go down there. sounds like a really nice flight, a nice time, hopefully. I don't know if you're going to visit family or just going on a vacation, but safe travels to you. Hopefully you get to where you want to go and enjoy the time there. All right, 33 nautical miles. Same knucklehead. Got nothing better to do with your time, do you? You're welcome, Hans. Hopefully, I hope I kind of maybe calmed your fears a bit, but, you know, yeah, I would ask them, because at least then you know, and sometimes what it is that people, the airline may wait for Boeing to actually tell everybody to pull the aircraft out of service until they complete the investigation. So they may be waiting for word from Boeing, but, again, do they have other aircraft that can fill those services? Or are they going to have to cancel your flight altogether? So, yeah, I would contact them and start asking some questions just to see what's going on. That way you know what to expect and what you may want to do with your trip. So... But if you want a refund, there should be no questions asked. If they're not going to pull the plane from service, they should just refund your money. But sometimes that's easier said than done, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought that the 730, because I remember when they pulled them all out of service and they went through this whole process of checking everything, and I thought that they had gotten pretty much all the issues dealt with, but maybe not. There's no telling. I think really what they need to think about doing is just pulling those planes and retiring them sooner rather than later. I know they're somewhat new, but if there's this many problems, they're gonna have to do something soon before it gets too late. So that's at flight level 3. Okay, so once we get past there, then I'll start the reductions. We'll step down in altitude here. Okay. So I think what we'll do is we'll drop to, we'll ask for a 6,000 foot reduction first. And then we'll just step down a little bit at a time. And then we'll be set for success. Oh, you're welcome there, Hans. I saw that. I'm sorry, I was thinking about other things and I just realized I didn't say you're welcome. I think I did. Well, either way, you're welcome. All right. All right, so that's okay. Now this is one of those tricky parts right here, right? Jaeger is our next marker, but that is about 200 nautical miles away. So I think going to 30,000 feet is still a good option, and then we can make, once we cover some more distance, then we can continue to drop our altitude. So I'm going to ask for that, just so that we're actually, you know what, we're just going to wait here, because sometimes I think I panic and I drop altitude a little too early. So I'm going to go a little bit closer. I think once we're about 100 nautical miles out, that should be sufficient enough for us to start dropping altitude there. So we'll stay right where we are for a little bit longer. Good. Yeah, see, there it goes down to like basically 250. So we'll get a little bit closer and then we'll start reducing. So I don't want to go too soon. Let's see. We have a weather service alert. Oh. Interesting. Dry and breezy conditions. Elevated risk for wildfire spread. Okey doke. No. And here I thought we were, it's like, well, it's not going to get too warm. Oh, we're expecting snow on Saturday. Go figure. And sometime next week we're expecting snow. Awesome. So we're not out of the woods yet when it comes to the weather. I was hoping we were finally turning the corner and on our way to spring, but apparently not. Not yet. Mother Nature has other plans, apparently. Just as long as we don't get like 4 feet of snow or something. I'm okay with that. Did we say Wednesday we're getting snow? Or no, I think I said sometime this weekend. Have to look. Have to plan accordingly for my appointment for tomorrow. Wow, more flickering. That's not a good sign. That worries me. I have some concerns about that. Pardon me for just a minute, folks. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. All right, let's have a look-see here. Just kind of keep an eye on things. We still got a bit to go before I feel comfortable about dropping a little bit of altitude. Because if the goal is to be at 250, by the time we get to that marker, I don't, and that's 11,000 feet basically. Yeah. So we'll do 6 and then 5. But we'll cover a little bit more distance first before we start doing that, because it shouldn't take long to get to 250. So, yeah. All right. Let's see, what other things can I talk about as we come into our destination here? Can't think of anything. Well, some pretty high clouds here. Something interesting. Fly through these wispy little clouds. Oh, I could look at the weather for Nashville. Get our altimeter reading. Let's see, Nashville. 3004. Okay, not too bad. All right. So once we go below 18,000 feet, we'll dial in 3004 for our altimeter reading. We'll see if we are spot on. We may have to adjust one way or the other, but we should be pretty close. So hopefully we... Still got a bit to go here. Edgier. Okay. Interesting. Finally, it felt like I think the flight basically kind of calmed down. We had a bit of turbulence on our way. Oh. Now, the interesting thing is what I noticed in my streams. Once we take off and we get to our cruising altitude and we're on our way, that's when things kind of get quiet, right? And then all of a sudden, it's like some sort of alarm goes off and everybody's like, he's going to land soon, I got to go back. And then all of a sudden, all these people come in and start talking. And that's okay. Just something I noticed. And that's okay. All right, a little bit closer here. I think, you know what? Let's just go ahead and ask for that 6,000 foot reduction. Cabin crew can start tidying up. Yeah, see, it wasn't a quick trip to 30,000, so we're going to linger here for a little while, and then we'll probably about 50 nautical miles, or probably under 50 nautical miles, we'll go to 250. We've got plenty of distance between now and then, so we'll kind of just hang back here. So if I remember our flight plan correctly, basically we're going to fly kind of past Nashville Airport, and then we're going to turn into the center runway there. Not sure if we're going to be able to see the airport as we descend and make our turns. We'll see if we can from the outside. Well, let's do a little outside tour here while we're cruising along. There's the JetBlue livery. A friend like blue. Okay. That is an actual tail code for a JetBlue A320. Try to make it a little bit realistic if we can, whenever possible. There's our pilot and co-pilot. So some engine detail there on the cells. And there we are. All right, 86 nautical miles to go. Still got a bit more to cover, and then we'll drop down to 250. Really nice clouds here today. At least it's not a rainstorm or anything, but it's little puffy light clouds. A little bit of a dipsy-do going on here. It gets to climbs up a little bit and it's gonna descend. It's like it's having a tough time maintaining 300. That's okay. We're within tolerance of the. We're not getting a call that we're too far out of our range of altitude, so we're good. Yeah, really enjoyable flight. Once we got past all the hiccups this morning, it was a bit of a challenge, but we got there. So thank you for sticking around. I was hoping to get the flight done. So if one of the things I should say too is if I have to cancel a flight for some reason, whether it's, you know, I'm not able to do it that day for some reason, or we have some technical issues, I'll try to reschedule it for another time, so that we still do that service. Because sometimes it just may be there's a hiccup that day, and then if we wait a couple weeks or whatever, maybe it'll kind of sort itself out. So. And looking forward to all the stuff we got coming up for the remainder of this month, going into April. We're gonna have some really cool stuff, I think. I have to build a few more things into the flight plan, make some changes, I think, so that we have some kind of have a bit of a theme going on, so people know what to expect. I'll have to update the schedule on Twitch. I did kind of put one together on Twitch, I think last week or something like that, but I want to update it more so that we talk about what we're going to do on which days, so everybody kind of has an idea. The good thing is, if we do military aviation Thursday, that could be jets, it could be a prop plane. You know, there's just no telling. We will utilize what we have and have some fun with it. Try to fly some different stuff, enjoy that. About 10 more nautical miles or so, we'll do our next reduction in altitude. I'm going to take another quick break. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, let's see where we're at now. We are under the 50 nautical miles. All right, so let's get a little bit closer, and then we'll get to about the 20 nautical mile range. Because I kind of suspect sometimes, when we've done these flights in the jetliners and we're getting ready to set ourselves up for our approach into our destination, we start descending, and then for whatever reason, the ATC and the sim thinks that we're somewhere back in the flight. So I'm going to try to be a little bit better about our reductions in altitude. So hopefully that will minimize the issue, but it may not. It still has its little quirks where we're 20 nautical miles out, and they're like, climb and maintain 20,000 feet, and you know, and then we just kind of have to wait them out, but it's so annoying. But what I may have to do is I may just have to turn off ATC altogether if I can, and just, you know, use the flight plan and everything, and just fly it that way. That way we don't have to hear all the craziness. I don't know if or when. I know they're working on updating the ATC, but I don't know when that update will take place, unfortunately. So I have to figure out how to do all that. I'll figure that out off stream maybe today, sometime today when I'm checking other things. I'm thinking about Friday's flight. I know we were supposed to be in the 737 MAX, going from Seattle to, or Salt Lake City to Seattle. I may just do that instead with the A320. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll do that, I think. I think that's a more appropriate thing to do than delay a world update. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. What we'll do is we'll say, oh, the 737 was pulled from service, so we had to bring in the A320, and yeah, that's what we'll do. Oh, hello, old Crankman. Your Kirby needs bags still, so does your Electrolux. Well, hopefully you find them. I wouldn't even begin to know where to look for those. I'm guessing maybe on eBay, or I don't know, is there like suitable replacements that you could use? I don't know. But hopefully you sort that out, I guess. But how are you? Good to see you, Crankman. We are on our way to Nashville. We will be there pretty soon. We've been flying for about 2 hours. Yeah. Hello, Fish Guns. How are you? Nice to see you here. We're coming at the tail end of our flight here to Nashville, where we're starting to descend. Well, we go to Trader's World for bags, but don't have money. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Trader's World. Okay. I don't think I've ever been into a Trader's World, but well, hopefully you find success there. So yeah, we're starting to descend into Nashville. We will be making our turns, twists and turns as we get ready to line up. All right, let's ask for 200. Oh, wait, was it 250? Yeah. For some reason I was thinking it was 200. All right, there we go. Minimize that. So we have that handy. Trader's World sounds like a cool place, though. So after our marker there, or our waypoint in front of us, Is this game free to download on PC? I don't believe so, but if you, well, the way you could do it is if you have Xbox Game Pass, their Stealth, thank you for coming by the stream. If you have Xbox Game Pass, the base game alone is free right now, I think, still. But you have to have a Xbox Game Pass subscription in order to use the base game for free. But if you want the more stuff, you're going to have to pay for. There's 2 other high-end versions that it's going to cost you some money. But if you want to just play, there's enough aircraft in the base game to get you started, I think. But that's the only way I think that it's possible to download it on PC for free. But the game overall is not free. So hopefully that answers your question. I think that's the case, but I could be wrong. I would, if you scroll down to the very bottom of all the information below today's video, there's a link to the forums. If you go there, somebody would definitely be able to tell you for sure if that's possible. So I want to make sure you get the right info. So I would try there as well, just to make sure you know what you can and can't do. And also, I think if you look just above that, there's a link that had all the aircraft based, like the base game, the premium, and the premium deluxe. It shows you what you get with each style of the sim, I guess, each iteration or whatever you want to call it. Each of the 3 options, whatever. So yeah, hopefully all that information will help you out make a choice. So thanks for stopping by. Generally, any PC related questions, I generally just refer folks to the basic, yeah. So I think that's even for the PC side then possibly. But double check everything before you commit one way or the other so you know for sure what you can or can't do. Yeah, there's plenty of stuff with even the base game. So, and I do recommend if you get it. Saw you on my recommended. Okay, Flybic, welcome. Well, I appreciate that. I didn't know that I was on people's recommended, but good. Well, thank you for stopping by. All right, we are pretty good where we're at now, I think. Oops. So at Swift here, our next waypoint beyond Lens, we have to be at 200. So we will descend once we get closer to Lens or just past it. We'll descend on to 200. So we want to zoom out here, just kind of look at what we got coming up. Pretty much that's it right there, the big picture. So we're going to turn here and then we'll turn to the right to line up. So just can't play it because I don't have a PC. Well, if you have an Xbox Series S or X, you can play that way. But yeah, it does take a lot of people I know who sim. They have a really powerful system that they've built up since the sim came out on the PC. They've upgraded their graphics cards and all kinds of stuff. So it's a very, if you're going to get into that, it can be a very expensive undertaking. But yeah, I'm on the Xbox Series S, so yeah, it works generally. There's always some little. I'm planning on buying the Game Pass and using the new. Oh, okay, there you go. Be aware though that sometimes, just so that you know, if the cloud gaming, if you open up another tab on your browser, it's going to freeze it may cause issues with the window that you have open for your flying. So just be aware of that. That's a known issue. A lot of people, if you try to use a controller, a lot of people feel that it's not as responsive as it could be. So, but it's an option, definitely. But hopefully you enjoy it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and ask for 200. Oh, Lord. Starts with $60, yeah. Pretty soon. I've already started descending back a bit. I think we're getting bounced around here. Okay, there we go, finally. So yeah, we were at 36,000 oh. See, that's one of those weird things. It tells us. Oh, don't worry, Stealth. It's all good. Glad to have you along, hanging out and watching the stream. Yeah, that's one of the weird things about the sim sometimes, that oh, there we go. Okay. Let's see. Can you go to third? Well, I guess this would be like third person view. Yeah, I can be outside here for just a moment. I'm looking to see, check our updated altimeter reading. Let's see. Yep, still 3004. Okay. Yeah, that's our. So initially, when the A320 was released, and this is a Sobo version, we can't do the fly-by-wire version on the Xbox. But there was like this fake, there was like a bunch of liveries that weren't real world, and So you can't mod. That's the only other thing too, Stealth. On the Xbox side, you cannot add mods. There's a big issue with how the Xbox is designed that will not allow mods and stuff like that. So we are kind of stuck with what we get, and that's it. So, but yeah, Forest Simmers has released some liveries for the A320, so they're real world, actual airline liveries. So it looks pretty good. I'm not sure if it's spot on, but it looks halfway decent enough for me to see. But yeah. So usually when I fly a real world route, I'll try to find which carrier does that route, and also the flight number, all that kind of information. So it kind of adds a little bit more realism to it. It may not be 100% perfect, but close enough. Hello, Patrice. Yeah, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yeah. But yeah, we can't. Mods are not right now. Currently, are not allowed on the Xbox side of the flight sim. We can't buy third-party aircraft straight from the developer. We have to wait for it to be released into the marketplace. So yeah, there's a lot of issues that have suddenly creeped up over the past few months regarding how the Xbox and Microsoft Flight Simulator work with one another. So it can be a bit crazy sometimes, but we try to enjoy it the best we can. Okay. Now let's see if that means that we can't ask for further reductions. Yep. All right. So we are basically going to get all of our instructions now from ATC. So we don't need that open anymore. And we'll change our altimeter reading so we are hopefully right where we need to be with our 3004 that I looked up to see. That is the current barometric pressure at Nashville. So we'll see if we are close or spot on. So once we get to 170, we'll go ahead and dial this in. Oops. All right, I think we're good to go there. All right. Do I fly a Cessna in real life? No, I don't. I don't own a Cessna. I don't fly in real life. I just like the sim. Wish I had a computer that could run it. I don't, but I'm hoping in the future I will be able to get a PC, because there's way more aircraft that I could fly on the PC side than what's available on the Xbox. And it's just the releases on the Xbox have been really few and far between. Some of them are really good. Some are kind of like you know. So, but I've flown the Cessna. I mean, I've flown it in the sim. A couple different versions of Cessnas. I do enjoy those. They're nice to fly, and some of them have like a nice autopilot system, and others you basically have to fly yourself. So. Yeah, we have some different stuff that we do. Ooh, look at those clouds ahead. Wow. Interesting. All right, so we just passed Heimat. So we are looking for Wemmel next. going to go ahead and get our we'll start dealing with the power speed ourselves, so we can I know how to fly a Cessna in real life, but I never got a chance to, but I will soon. Oh, nice. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, a lot of people, there are some real-world pilots that fly the sim and do some, you know, they're way more in-depth than what I do here. But, yeah, a lot of real-world pilots do enjoy it off, you know, when they're not flying in real life. You know, and they do give you a lot more knowledge and experience than a traditional. It's me, Liam. How are you? I'm good. Qantas Airlines. Okay. Yeah, I'm good. Glad to see you here. Yeah, we're just on our way into Nashville. We've got basically, let's see how much more we got to go here. That's at 40 nautical. Yeah, so within 40 nautical miles. There's our approach right there. All right. Oh, you know what? I'm going to dial 210 then. Or, yeah, let's go to 210. And we'll drop some flaps to start slowing down before we go to 6. We'll go, once we get down there, we'll go to 180. Or 8. Oop. Alright, so we're right where we need to be. Let's go ahead and drop some flaps. I'll look at the chat in just a minute, folks. Let me get my lights on. Okay, what does it mean when a girl says, I don't know. You got me on that one. Mr. Addies is over on the Posh channel. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. That's a new one to me. So, might just have to ask her directly. What does it mean? I couldn't tell you. Ooh, look at flying through the clouds. Nice. Yep, you are, Joseph. Yep, I sure did. Yep, it's unfortunate. Not sure what happened. A lot of people can speculate and everything, but you know, the investigation will hopefully determine what happened. But it's unfortunate those people were killed. All right. She's American. Oh, yeah, I couldn't tell you. They're Qantas. I have no idea. Younger folks seem to have a language of their own sometimes. I couldn't tell you. See how it went down. It looks like they may have messed up. That's possible, but it's, you know, there's no telling. There's all kinds of you know, speculations and whatnot. So I think it's just we should wait for the investigation to be conducted and hope that if there is a problem with the plane, you know, the 737 Maxes, that Boeing may have to pull them out of service again and check everything all over again. But I wonder if there's a possibility that it was a something Stole your RC car. I'm sorry to hear that, Stealth. Was it because some corners were cut with regards to plane maintenance, with the aircraft maintenance, and I'd hate to think that that's what it was, but we don't know yet. But the investigation will hopefully uncover all those things. We'll start slowing down here a little bit more. There we go. All right. Here we go. We're coming to the end of it all for today's flight. Taking a little bit longer than I expected, but that's okay. We had a bit of weather to deal with, so... Ooh, look at the clouds we're flying through. All right, so that's where we're at. Aha! We weren't too far off. Oh, thank you, Joseph. Appreciate it. So there was a slight, we were off just by a little bit, but not too much one way or the other. So sometimes we're spot on, sometimes we're either our altimeter reading is too high or too low, so we get that adjustment. So we are good to go. You've been flying for, yeah. It was supposed to be about 2-hour flight, but I think with the weather we had some headwinds and stuff, so we weren't going as fast as we had hoped to. But so there should be our airport right, I think it's over there. It's somewhere over to the right a little bit, because we are going to turn right eventually. So I'm thinking that the airport's right there. I think our center line, our center runway 02C is right somewhere over in here. So, all right, let's go ahead and slow down a little bit more. Let's go to 160. Get some more flaps, and then we'll go to 140. Drop the last bit of flaps down, and we'll be set to go. So I'll hit the ILS button first. That should give us our area across the bottom there to line up. Once that area on the that should go ahead and activate the ILS, and then another marker on the right side here, diamond. Once it gets to the middle, we'll hit the approach mode. Yeah, I couldn't do that. That's too much in one sitting. All right, take care of yourself. Nice. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy the rest of your day. Yeah, so once we turn in towards our runway, I'll drop the gear and we'll get everything set up to land. They made a black boxes for the Earth. Oh, yeah. Some people I know think flying without a keyboard is a bad experience, but looking at the video seems to show it's wrong. Yeah, because well, you know, the great thing is the autopilot is taking care of everything. Now, I've had to land the A320 manually more than once, and it's possible to do because I've had enough experience. I know what to expect and everything. It may not be the perfect landing, but we do pretty good with it. But it's not too bad. Yeah, some people, of course, are gonna say that, oh, you have to have this, and it's not very realistic if you don't have this, and well, that's you. Fly the way you want to. I'll fly the way I want to. Wow, look at that crosswind. That is insane. Wow, I'd hate to be flying this in real life. Oh, okay. You've been a pilot on GTA Grand Theft Auto 5 since you were 9. You're 15 going on 16. Well, happy early birthday to you. I'm not an actual pilot. I just play one on Flight Simulator. All right, we are getting ready. So yeah, I think our... Do I see the lights? I think I see the lights for our runway. I think that's definitely our airport over there. So, yeah, it does have a nice sound to it. I agree. We should be turning any moment now. There we go. All right. Fly. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, we are nearing the time, folks. I am going to turn the laptop away from me so I can focus on the landing. I apologize. I'm not trying to ignore anybody on purpose. I just like to focus on what I'm getting ready to do, so I'm not trying to be distracted by the chat. So if you make any comments, I will catch up to it in just a moment. Wow, we are all over the place. All right, so there's our diamond across the bottom there. There's the one at the top. So as soon as everything kind of intersects, we'll hit the, or intersects, yeah, intersects. We will hit the approach mode, and that should lock us in, and we'll be on the ground in a moment. There we go. Why is it doing that? Oops. All right, we should doze over. Should have. I hit it at the right time. Oh, don't tell me this isn't going to work. It's not locked in. Shoot. Did I miss it? Okay, we're gonna have to do this ourselves because it didn't capture. That's all right. We got this. See, you just never know when something might not work. But we got this now. Flaps are all down, gears down. All right. Boy, that crosswind is really pushing us offline there. There we go. Not the most perfect landing, but we got here. On behalf of myself and the entire flight crew, we'd like to welcome you to Nashville. Local time is 10:13 in the morning. I don't think they're an hour behind me, but anyway. We know and appreciate the fact that you have many options when it comes to your Microsoft Flight Simulator live stream viewing pleasures. And we are glad that you chose to fly with us today. We will be at the gate momentarily. Oops. What did I do there? What did I hit? Ooh, okay. I will catch up with the chat in just a moment, folks. Sorry. Let me just get off the runway here. To the gates, please, and thank you. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you all. Appreciate it. That wasn't too bad. Wasn't perfect, but we got here. We'll follow our path here to our gate assignment. Yeah, sometimes like I was expecting the ILS to work. Like I think I did it all at the right time and everything, but it didn't for whatever reasons. But we got on the ground. We're good. It's saying no data. There is data. You got my follow on that landing debrief. Oh, thank you, Vengeful Squid. I try to have a little bit of fun with it, but thank you for follow, and glad you enjoyed that. Yeah, I try to add a little something, kind of like what you hear when you actually land in real life, right? So, yeah. Good stuff. And usually it's the flight attendant that says all that stuff, you know, while the flight deck is busy contacting the tower and everything. But, oh, glad to hear it. Thank you. Hello. Edawan? I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Welcome to the stream. We just got into Nashville. We'll be wrapping up the stream as soon as we park at the gates. So, thank you for stopping by. We've been flying for almost 3 hours, so I'm ready to wrap this up and take a breather. So, yeah, we had a few hiccups at the beginning, but we got through it, so. Not sure where it's telling us to go. Okay, we're just going to follow it over there. Looks like our gate is over there somewhere in that in that general area. So yeah, this is a real world flight that that JetBlue does do from JFK to Nashville. So every Tuesday we're going to try to fly jetliners whenever possible. So we will try to do real world services. And well, thank you. Oh, greetings from America then. Nice to have you here. I'll tune in to the next one tomorrow. Special flight. It's going to be a surprise. It's going to be a surprise flight Wednesday. We weren't going to fly tomorrow, but I have an appointment that was moved from the morning to the afternoon, so I'm able to squeeze in a flight. I didn't have anything planned, but I kind of put something together. I think that everybody will enjoy. So 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK time tomorrow. Do tune in. It's going to be a surprise. And no, I will not say what the surprise is. You'll have to tune in to find out. Salama Pag. Oh, okay. I'm guessing that you're talking to our viewer from Indonesia there, Qantas. See, I called it right. Every time when I'm on approach, then all of a sudden the chat livens up. It's 1-7. Oh, in the morning for you. You should be asleep. But I appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Do you have... No, I don't use live traffic. I did initially, but the problem with the live traffic, Patrice, is the live traffic, either you'll hear over the radio numerous times that they aren't descending or climbing to their altitude. They don't leave the runway when they land, so you'll get stuck doing a go around. So I turned that off, and I think later today I'm going to turn off the ATC altogether. Although this one wasn't too bad, but I think it's because we just did our reductions in altitude at a more reasonable amount of time. Because it seems like if we go too low too soon, then it'll tell us to go back up for some reason. Like the ATC just has a fit. So I may just have to turn off ATC altogether. No, I'm not. No, not a real pilot. I'm not a pilot in real life. I just play one on Flight Simulator. No, I just try to do the best I can. We make our mistakes, and sometimes we've come up short, and other times we do pretty good. So, yeah. Just try to do the best we can and enjoy it. And tomorrow's another day, another flight. So, thank you all for the 8 likes. Appreciate that. We'll be back tomorrow for a surprise. Oh, I definitely do, yes. I grew up loving aviation. I just never pursue it as a career, unfortunately. I had opportunities, I think, to do so. But, yeah. Yeah, it's been nice. I do enjoy flying and trying to continue to grow as a sim pilot. There's times I'm not perfect at it by any stretch of the imagination. But just try to keep improving. That's all I can do. All right, there's our gate assignment. Yeah, I was enrolled at a university, although I dropped my enrollment, but I was going to enroll in the university that has a really good aviation program. Not necessarily to be a pilot, but just work in the aviation industry. And I wish I had pursued that, because I think I would have really enjoyed that line of work. But, things happen for a reason. So, it's all good. Wow, it looks like the arrows are not lined up correctly, so I'm going to go on the yellow line, I think, instead. Because otherwise, that other one, we're going to be right into the jetway there. Now, possibly, let's see what happens. Sometimes it will automatically connect the jetway for us. Let's see what happens when we pull in here, if that's what happens. It's really phenomenal when it happens. Ah, come on, a little more. Let's see if we can get it to trigger. Nope. All right, I'll show you. I think I can request it. Let's see if it'll connect the jetway. Check this out. Watch. Oh, the door's open. Look at that. That is really cool. And it'll slide over. Watch. That just really I can't help but enjoy that. That is just so cool. Well, it looks like the jetway's taking a big bite out of the plane. Look at that. Ta-da! All right. Anyway, that is going to be it for today, folks. I do appreciate... Oh, let's go ahead and shut the plane down. And go ahead and exit out of that. Go ahead and hit the stop button. All right, 2 hours and 21 minutes. Not too shabby. A little longer than expected, but that's okay. Anyway, that is going to do it for today, folks. I greatly appreciate everybody coming in, hanging out. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. I will be back tomorrow. Surprise flight. Do tune in, 7:30 Eastern, 11:30 UK. Put a reminder in your phone so you know when to tune in. And I will see you all then. Until then, peace, live long and prosper.